Let's talk more about consequence, because you write in the book, consequence is the only thing that separates choices being made that serve us or don't.
Is there anything else that does? That is it, isn't it? It's the consequences. What happens if I move my pawn 2 places forward on the chessboard? What's going to happen? Why do chess players play 25, 30, 40 moves ahead? What are the consequences of this move? Where's it going to take me? What's going to happen? And if, in business, if I do that and I buy this, what's going to happen? If I offer them this, what's going to happen? You have to. If you're not thinking of consequences, you can't take responsibility for the choices you make. It's not possible. So it's the exact same thing when you mentoring a child, because what are we trying to teach them? That the choices you make have power. They have an effect in the world. They have an effect on your world. Have you thought about what that effect will be to preserve yourself? Because it is ultimately going to be your responsibility to make decisions that preserve you. I will not always be available. I will not always be with you. You will be with you. You will be available with you. Can you think about what you're doing longer than what it'll take to do it? How do I teach you how to do it? One of the things we use is discipline. That's a fantastic tool to say, look what you did. This is what happened. Can you program that into yourself? You remember that? So the next time you want to do that, you can go, okay, I remember that. No, all right, we didn't like that. We didn't like that result. Okay, we won't do that. We won't do that. But that's what we're trying to empower our children with. Discipline is meant to be empowerment. It's a way to follow. The root of it is from the disciple, the follower, the honorer. So we're hopefully going to put together strategies for discipline that our children admire and want to follow. And I always say this, a child, if you take them into a building and there's a balcony, the first thing they're going to do, why do children do this, is they'll go out on the balcony if they're secure and they shake it. They want to know, am I safe? Am I safe? And we'll go out and we'll do that. We'll shake it before they even get near it, because we want to know if they'll be safe. But if we say it's safe, it's fine, they'll go out and they'll go, oh yeah, okay, I'm shaking it, it is safe. That's what they do. They test the boundaries. They test where they're safe. And if we don't say to them, okay, you can do that, I want to teach you how to. Because if you don't know how to, you're constantly going to outsource your safety to me and outsource your choices to me. And if you're always outsourcing them to me, how are you protected in the world? How are you empowered? I shrivel when I watch parents not allowing their children to make choices and decisions, making them for them, tell them what to do, saying you can't do that before the child's even tried. No, don't do that, you can't do that. How on earth would you know? Yes, maybe if we're talking about flying between 2 buildings. No, human beings thus far have not figured out how to fly. But there's so many other choices that we can have in the moment, and I've watched parents with children about to get onto a jungle gym. No, you can't do that. How will they ever know unless you give them a space to try out their strength and learn, okay, I can't do this yet. I need to be bigger, I need to be stronger, I need to be X, Y, Z. And with consequences, we're saying to children, life's a chess game. Maybe we don't want to think 25, 40 moves ahead, but at least 2, at least 2. If I go with my friends and I do this, what could happen? What are the scenarios? What could happen if I was writing the story? What could happen? So I bunk class and I go here with my friends and we're going to smoke. We could get caught. We could get expelled. Or we could not get caught, but we missed the work. Or we could set up a pattern of this behavior, which I think is taking it a bit far with the 12-year-old. But there are at least those 2 choices. We'll get caught, we won't get caught. What are the consequences of that? Empowerment. It's all about empowerment.
And Bev, I have a final question for you on this chapter. What is the importance of genuine praise for our children?
That is about as controversial as hitting children with compassion. It is unbelievable. I have read articles and books recently in the media that say overpraising your children is detrimental to their well-being. And then there's opinions that say you can never praise enough. And so I love it, because there'll be people who have strong opinions about everything that I've said in my book having value, and people will say, oh, it's valueless. You know, there's always the spectrum of what is and what isn't in the world, and that's great. But praising children authentically is so important, because in the exact same way as insulting them is important to not do, praising them is important to do, provided it's authentic. I can't keep telling you you're intelligent if you're clearly not an intelligent person. I'm disempowering you then. You might get a false sense of being intelligent, and off you go into environments that require intelligence, and you set yourself up for disaster. If I'm going to empower you, I need to look at who you be, how you function, where you come in the world, and you have to be able to assess that and say, okay, I know who you be and I'm learning, and I can affirm and praise you for what you do. And not exaggerate it too much, like people I see doing with their children. And they'll say, you are the best in the world. You are the most unbelievable jungle gym climber. There's no better than you. And I'm like, whoa, okay, that was a bit too much. It's like easy on the praise. Be authentic, be genuine, be enthusing, be a cheerleader. But careful, because when we raise our children in extremes, we set them up for fears of failure, fears of success, and a whole lot of insecurity and fear that, well, if I try this, will I be the best? And if I'm not the best, is that enough? Where do I get to be enough? Children need to know they're enough. Who they are is enough. It's enough. It's valuable, it's lovable, it's worthy, and it's capable. It's enough. So the child is doing well on the jungle gym. It's like, oh, you're doing so well on the jungle gym. Good for you, boy. Good for you. Is that not praise? That's enough. It's enough. It doesn't. You're not the best. Well, let's test that theory. Let's get 300 million children aged 3 together, and let's go through all of them, and let's see who's the best at jungle gym climbing. Then you can have that kind of comment. But careful with the extremes, like the end of the world. Oh my goodness, what an extreme. It's almost like I picture the creator or whoever it is that put this all together sitting up there with the red button going, if I press this, it will be the end of the world. But other than that, it ain't happening that way. So why do we talk about that? It's not the end of the world. My line is, it's not even the beginning of the end of the world. Why even go there into all these different extremes? Careful of never. Normal. Who says what's normal and not? For a child who has no legs, is it normal to walk upstairs? Or is it normal to pull yourself up or to need help? What's normal? Who has the right to define normality? Never, normal, ever. Always. Careful. The best, the worst. Careful. Impossible. Careful. Your words have more power than you can possibly imagine. I'd rather be slapped across the face than be told how little value I have in the world. Got to be very careful. That's the bigger discipline than anything, what comes out of your mouth.
Bev, thank you so much. That brings us to the end of Chapter 13, Discipline, the Final Frontier. Join us for a conclusion of the book.